You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, picking any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am. Through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your DMV Sports update, and I am your host, CWall. Hey, everybody. Hello. I mean, wait a second. I'm going to wait for a minute while everybody drops in and says hello, because you all know I have to wait to say what I really want to say in terms of what happens. And we all know, like, one of the mottos of the show. But listen, while everybody is checking in, it's like yet another week of being able to share what's been happening in DMV sports, all of the highlights, okay? All of the highlights. So as everybody is checking in, listen, make sure you check in by loving the show or liking the show. Make sure you are sharing this show with your DMV sports loving family and friends. Make sure everyone is checked in. I absolutely, as you all know, have to stick to time because I am headed to Cap One Arena immediately after the show. So it's a lot to be discussed for certain. I feel like it's one of those weeks that you absolutely always want to make sure that I wait for everybody to get in so I can say this. Gotta say this. When is there a dull moment in DC sports? And that would be never. That would be never. And so, hey, in a good sense, in a great sense, that means we have a lot to talk about, correct? So look, a lot of Wizards talk this evening, quite a bit of Wizards talk. And we also want to do a little Commanders talk, because what would a DMV sports update be like if you didn't talk about the professional football team that is in Washington? So before we get started, our first segment is brought to you by Uplift Property Suite. Now, listen, there's only so many times where I will take a game that we play for another team, right? And say, we got to do this here. We have to do this here. And you all have noticed that I have done this now with the Wizards. So we're going to play a game that we have typically played with the Commanders that we now play with the Wizards. And that is, what's your one word? And that is, what is your one word to describe your initial reaction to the Wizards' moves right at the trade deadline? I want to know, Are the Wizards fans tapped into this? Because I know the Wizards are playing right now. And let me be honest with you all. While you all are thinking about your one word, let's talk about something. Okay, can we talk about something? I had to literally wait. I had to wait, like wait until the starting lineup came out. I said, I don't know who's on the team. And I'm being quiet and I'm being real because I was like, well, what? Okay. And okay. We all know at this point that the name of Tommy Shepard's game is, you just unload contracts. I see Ron Blackwell's comment of typical. I see Cameron Mingo's comment of whoa. I see John Adams, you have been shocked. Okay. I wasn't impressed. One thing that Tommy Shepard knows how to do is he knows how to unload contracts. And if people don't want to stay or you need to unload a contract, he can do that. He can get that done. Now, I do want to get into a bit of the trades, the actual trades. And then I'm just going to do a bit of reflecting because I think it's important for us to reflect on where the team is right now. It's important for us to have this discussion. So, Trez, remember there was a point in time when you would go to a Wizards game and Trez would shoot a free throw and everybody was yelling MVP. The energy ball, the muscle. Trez has been traded to Charlotte for a familiar friend in Ish Smith. Very nice guy, very cool guy. And Vernon Carey in a second round pick. Okay. So apparently, right, the Hornets have been looking to add a center who could defend and score. That's great. That's awesome. Cool. Ish Smith was Charlotte's third stringer. Okay. Let me look. He's played in 37 games, averaged 4.5 points and 2.7 assists per game. Again, like I said, back with the Wizards, very nice guy. Carey is a former second round pick. He's played in 23 games during his career and is averaging 2.3 points a game. All right. I'm going to stop there because we're going to try to dissect each and every single one of these trades. Hey, look, I think all I have to say about that is exactly what I just said. And whether or not, Trez wanted to stay or wanted to renew his contract here, who knows? You just never can tell. But I will say this, again, going back into a reflective moment, and that is once upon a time, Trez was the energy. He was the muscle. Once upon a time, Trez and Brad were doing press conferences together. They looked like brothers up there, didn't they? They were happy together, enjoying themselves, smiling. All goodness. Trez and Brad together. Got your leader, got your energy, got your muscle right here. Everybody's happy, right? Trez got traded today. Now, I shared one of the comments about what Trez was traded for. I want to know, what are your thoughts specifically about that trade? Now, Ron Blackwell has already shared his feelings about that trade, but drop in the chat, how do you really feel about that particular trade? Montrezl Harrell to the Charlotte Hornets for Ish Smith back in Wizards uniform and Vernon Carey in a second round pick. Now, moving along to the next trade. Okay. This was down to the wire. Porzingis. I still just call him Chris Porzingis, but I know that's not his whole name. is now a Washington Wizard. So we got another second round pick, Porzingis, and another second round pick to the Washington Wizards for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Now, let me say this again. I remember, again, every time we talk about these trades, and definitely share in the chat what you think about this trade. Every time we talk about these trades, I want to also say, listen, once upon a time, everybody was happy. Everybody was happy. Spencer Dinwiddie was like, oh man, because he was coming back off an injury, couldn't wait to get him back out there. Everything was all right. He would come through at times, again, early in the season when everybody was happy and everything was good, all things were well. Then all of a sudden it just wasn't. And here's the thing. So I always, here's a trick. I don't even know if I should tell you this secret. You all want me to let you in on a secret? Let you in on a CWall tip. A CWall tip is such as this. If you really want to know how good a player is or how fans really feel about a player, start tracking the news when they're traded based on what the team they're coming from, what that media says. For example, there's not a soul in Dallas Mavericks media that cares about Porzingis leaving. They don't care at all. Okay? Not at all. Nobody's crying. Nobody's shocked or appalled. Now, what they do acknowledge is that, yeah, all right, you got Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, and you don't have Porzingis anymore. They definitely are acknowledging this could have been a step down for certain, even with getting the two players, but you lost a solid player and a second round pick for what exactly? That's a CWall tip. Charlotte, let's just be honest. Charlotte, listen. Going back to tip, CWall tip. Nobody's missing Ish Smith or Carey. Nobody. Nice guy. But nobody's missing either one of them. Nobody's like, dang, man, how could they do that? Nobody's saying that. It's not being said, okay? It ain't happening. Okay? So, keep watching and pay attention to those things. Listen and pay attention to what the other team's media is saying. Listen to what their fans are. Just take a pulse of it. If you're paying attention, the answer is always there. Always. Trust me on that one, y'all. You may not see it. It may not be abundantly clear, but the answer is always there. Now, lukewarm on that trade as well, right? Then there's the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns were just in Capital One Arena. They don't look like they need any help from anybody. They're doing just fine. The Wizards trade Aaron Holiday to the Phoenix Suns. That's a good look for Aaron. That's a great look for Aaron. Kudos. Congratulations, Aaron. Seriously, that's awesome for him. The Wizards in return received cash, and the Suns created a small trade exception. Okay. All right. Okay. We went through the trades, everybody. That was it. That's it. That was all. And hey, look, these were some of the things that we saw coming. I'm going to go back to the point of it was all good a couple months ago. Then there was rumblings about issues. The fight in the locker room during halftime between Trez and KCP, that became public knowledge. We were all watching Spencer Dinwiddie just fold for whatever reason. And everybody knows Davis Bertans has not at all been productive at all since he got the contract that he did. So that is absolutely, hey, Tommy he'll get a contract off. He'll get a contract off. He will get a contract off the books. He will absolutely do that. Absolutely do that. The next conversation that we're going to switch to, after I have to do a shout out and commercial break, if you will, from another one of our sponsors. Let's talk through the now what? What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? But first, got a great deal, as you all know. This year is the CWall Sports and Entertainment 5th anniversary, and Ubiquitous Enterprises is offering an amazing deal. Check it out here. Ubiquitous provides premium CBD oil and hemp products that are second to none. Their products are high quality for the best price. Check them out online. If you purchase anything, or shall I say, when you purchase something, you absolutely want to use code CWall5 to get 15% off the entire site. Okay? So we're back to what now? What I'm being serious. What now? Now let's be reflective again about this past week. Okay. Brad injured his wrist, right? And then it went from a day-to-day injury, right, to a 4-day injury, for game missed injury for game. And all I'm going to say is this. Now, when I get into my all I'm going to say is, or all I'm saying is, I want you all to pick up on something. Rumors were flying around everywhere that the Wizards were one of the teams in on the Sabonis deal. And that they even said, hey, here's what we're offering. Right? Do y'all remember that? Then it comes out the Pacers have now done a deal with the Sacramento Kings. Okay. It's all business. We knew it was going somewhere. We knew something was happening. Something was brewing. So the deal is between the Pacers and the Sacramento Kings. Then what happens is right after that, season-ending surgery on Brad's wrist, which he had surgery today. It went well. He's going to be fine. Okay. So all I'm saying is the timing is a bit, eye-opening, to say the least, at least in my opinion. This trade between the Pacers and Sacramento is complete. It's been rumored that the Wizards put their names in the hat. Not real clear yet, as of yet, what was all offered from the Wizards, but it was rumored they were in on it. It didn't work. Now Brad's out for the season. We know that Trez has had some issues because of the fight. We've seen Spencer Dinwiddie's performance go down the tubes. We all know that Davis Bertans' performance was down the tubes even before Dinwiddie or Trez got here. I think where I'm getting lost is Brad is the leader. The team is built around Brad. Everybody says this. This is not new news. Everybody knows the team is built around Brad. If we go all the way back, even to when John Wall, I'm gonna bring it up. Now I'm bringing up old stuff, but it's relevant. Okay, so hear me out. With John Wall going through his injury and recovery, it was rumored then the Wizards are going to build around Brad. They want to build around Brad. John is going to have to defer to Brad. The next thing you know, a couple days before training camp, John Wall is traded. Okay, got that contract off the books. Great. Again, Tommy Shepard, he can't get a contract off the books now. But what needs to be said is the team is built around Brad. He's had a lot of input on who is on the team because the team is built around him. So what's going on here? What's happening here? If the experiment isn't working, who's it on? Who is it really on? Because I'm still trying to figure out what Tommy Shepard did to get an extension at the beginning of the season. Because let's go ahead and talk about that again, because I'm going to keep bringing that up as long as it's still relevant. At the beginning of the season, the Wizards were in the power rankings, people. Now they're at the bottom of the conference, trading players away that were strength pieces to build around Brad and the energy that he needed and what he felt like he needed to be better and for the team to truly compete. And now he out for the season. Interesting. Absolutely interesting. I want to say something that I've always said about players that might be the best player. Just because you are the best player doesn't mean you're the leader. Leader does not equal best players. There is certain attributes and abilities that you need to have that are not necessarily tied to your skill set as a basketball player. And that's in any sport. Just because you're the best player, that doesn't make you the leader. There's a certain level of intellect that you have to have. There's a certain of proactivity you have to have. There's a certain level of accountability. Let me go ahead and say that. Can you drop in the chat? Can somebody say accountability? Can somebody say the word accountability? When your team goes down the tubes, when you get in the press conference, you got to say, hey, listen, this is on me because this team is built around me and I'm trying to get this thing right. And I'm going to work with my guys. I'm going to do what I need to do because I know this is on me. The team is built around me. It's my team. That's what they told me. That's what I say out of my mouth. That's what everybody else says. I've been called the head of the state. I've been called the leader. I've been called, you name it. Everything associated with leader. Yet that's not what I do. That's what's said, but that's not what's done. And a huge assumption that is an incorrect assumption is that the best player is automatically the leader. That's not true. It's not true. And I'm not saying that it's not true in this case, although it is not true in this case. But I'm talking about in general. That's not the thing. That's not it. It's a bad assumption. Now, also, because we got to get to the Commanders for a little bit. What now? What now? What now? Are the Wizards going to tank? Once upon a time, Ted Leonsis said the Wizards will never tank. Never, ever. A team that was once in the power rankings, is now what? Rumored to be tanking. Your best scorer out for the season. More to come on what happens next with the Washington Wizards. Now, before we go, Commanders fans, check in. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? One of our other sponsors for this evening, Educational Equity Services, provides virtual and in-person tutorial services across all content areas, students pre-K to 12th grade. They also provide professional development to leaders and teachers focused on equitable instructional practices, ELA Math Common Core standards, and best practices for diverse learners. Look up Educational Equity Services. I know Dr. Anita Walls personally, so you will absolutely enjoy all that they have to provide the community. I see that there's some Commanders fans in the building. I see that there are. Question, before we sign off, is the name growing on you yet? Is the name growing on you yet? It's still a little long. Still a little long to say. Still a little long. But hey, it's all right. It's okay. Some team names aren't the best. I mean, I'm sure if we really thought about it, we can go down the list of some team names. They're not all that cool. Some of the team names, I mean, hey, let's name some. Let's go through some. Team names, I mean, what's a cool name? Because I don't know any real cool names. Like, for example, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's not necessarily a cool name. And then if we stick with the NFL, I mean, it's not like the Cleveland Browns have a really cool name, or the Buffalo Bills. That's not real cool per se. I mean, I don't really feel, Miami Dolphins. I mean, Dolphins are associated with Miami because there's dolphins in the water in Miami. So I kind of understand that. What else? I mean, there's definitely some names out there. The Packers, it's not necessarily that sexy of a name. It's kind of hard to find a name that you're like, wow, now that's a bad name, right? That's a good name. Yes. Kind of hard. It's kind of hard. And you have to think about it, though. If it was the original name being introduced, everybody would probably had a hard time with that too. I think it's just a matter of having to get used to it. It's a new thing when you're born into something, or when you learn to love something and the name changes. It's just hard. Change is hard. But what I want to share with everybody is, it's not like when you sit back and you really think about it, some of these names are not all that dope. They're just not. They're not, I mean, it's a name, but it's not all that serious. And the key point is this right here. If you win, nobody cares. It's just a name. I like the uniforms though. So when the uniforms are being worn, they absolutely need to come out and be some goons when they're out there, especially in that black uniform. They absolutely need to be out there on Goon Squad official time when it comes time to do that piece of it for certain. And I'm sure there's always more to come, because you know who we're dealing with. It's the Commanders. So more to come. We'll keep on talking about it. But I had to ask you all, has the name grown on you yet? Okay. By the time the season starts back up, I think everybody will be okay. All right, you guys, listen, we've come at our time. Make sure you are following CWall everywhere. As already has been shared, make sure you are catching it on television as well. Every Friday, 1:30 to 2:30 on channel 11, or channel 77. You all, this is coming up March 6th, the 5th anniversary of CWall Sports and Entertainment. So there will be a lot going on. If you have gotten your email, if you're on the email list, then you have the email, you have the invite for that event. And I promise you, you do not want to miss it at all. Okay. So listen, you all, always more to come. It's always a pleasure bringing the highlights from DMV sports from this week to you all, and I will see you all again soon.
You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back the way I can.